Yeah, go ahead.
Coach, just overall, what did you kind of see?
I liked their game. It was a little bit of a slugfest for us tonight. Like I don't think we had great energy. Like you could kind of tell when the game got going. But I thought we played with a good conscience. I thought we were making pretty good decisions for the most part. We checked as hard as our legs would let us, I think. And same thing with the offense. So we did some good things. We got dangerous at times. There was one knock on our game. I think we were a little loose with our rush coverage, because through a couple periods we were doing a nice job in our zone, denying scoring chances, but we gave up a few off the rush, just some misreads and whatnot. Yeah, but I thought some guys played really well. Some guys were just okay, but considering the circumstances, like you go on a road trip like that, you come home, it's a day off, and then you're back at it. I don't know. We didn't have the energy that I'd like to see out of our group, but it was a pretty good hockey game.
Is it fair to say that the standard, or like the, I don't think the floor is the right word, where your team is at now, like I don't think anybody in there thought that was like a great game, but you also just beat a team that's fighting for its playoff life.
Yeah, no, like that's the thing. You got, like, we did enough to win the hockey game. And there was times where we had some, like, yeah, I look at Val's game, he gets 2, could have had 2 or 3 more. You know, Kale was coming downhill on that weak side flank a lot tonight, had a lot of shots, missed the net on a few, again, you know, glove saves on a couple. You know, like, I think we'd like to probably see a little bit more offense out of the entire group, and we'd like to be a little bit tighter defensively, but it's a desperate hockey team. It's a good hockey team. They can give you fits in the offensive zone. I think that's a strength of their game. And we did a nice job defending in zone. So I don't like to get too critical of our guys when I know the situation they're in. And I've talked to a bunch of them. We were just lacking a little bit of energy. So you're only going to play as good as your legs allow you to, you know. So now it's a big day of rest and make sure we come back energized for the next one.
At the start of the year, it seemed like you had to play 24, 25 minutes a night to kind of stay engaged.
Yeah.
Now, last month you've been able to manage his minutes. I guess, is that, heading into the playoffs, has that been nice to kind of limit his
It's really nice. I get criticized for that over the years of playing that line too much or whatever, but it's a results-oriented business. You do what you have to do to win hockey games. I don't care if it's October, November, December, because playoffs aren't made in April. They're made every segment the whole year, and you got to meet those numbers or things get infinitely more difficult, right? So, and when we've gotten healthy, their minutes backed off a little bit, and when we got deeper at the deadline, their minutes are, he still catches the odd game where he's at 24, but there's a lot of games now where you can see our minutes really balance out. Tonight was another one, you know, and so we have, you know, no passengers. Everyone's playing pretty well. We like all 4 of our lines, and we're able to spread those minutes out and utilize Mac in more like ozone starts and starts on their half of the ice instead of, you know, getting out there for every D-zone face-off against top guys. Like we have trust in all 4 of our lines right now that they can check other teams' top players, and that helps balance out the minutes.
How important is home ice for you in the playoffs?
I'd say middle of the pack for me. I think you know, again, that the home ice is earned all year long, right? We've been through some tough circumstances. We are where we are in the standings, and we'll live with that. I love to have home ice and finish first overall every year, but at the end of the day, you know, we did what we could do to win hockey games all year long, and now we're winning more. And if we end up starting on the road, great. I do think that, you know, there's a pack of teams in there, 8 to 10 teams that were throughout the whole league that we're going to fight to try and stay ahead of them. We're not going to kill ourselves, and we're going to be smart. But if we can continue to win hockey games and push and just play the right way and hone our craft, and we manage to bounce ahead of a few of those teams or stay ahead of a few other ones, home ice can still come around to you if you get to where you want to go.
Logan talked this morning about being one of those guys who can, you know, maybe lose some ice time to guys who've been sitting out and trying to be a good teammate, but it's empty net goal, but what can that do for him?
Well, I think he's pretty in tune with like the way, we've had some of those conversations about how that line's playing, what I rely on them for, what we want to see from them, and all three of those guys are really dialed in that area. So I think they understand it. No one likes to sit out or lose ice time, but I think the whole team has to have like a big picture approach. It's not just, again, I'll say it again, it's as simple as I can put it. It's better to have 23 guys pulling on the rope than 20, and that's long term. We may need everyone, and we're going to do our best to keep everyone involved and still try to win hockey games on a nightly basis.
You typically lean on the top power play unit a lot, but in Ottawa and now again here, you get goals from both the top and second unit. How has that maybe changed your approach to the power play, or speak to the depth of this team?
Yeah, I don't think it's changed our approach at all, but I do really like the way that other unit's working. We have 4 forwards on and 1 defense now, and they all contribute a little bit something different. I like Colton on that half wall. I think Charlie Coyle is, brings some intangibles to the unit with, things like Lecky and Valdu retrieving pucks, good face-off guy on the right side. You got Nelson, who's a face-off guy on the left side. You kind of check all the boxes for how we'd like it to look. Lecky's played the top power play before. Taser's certainly capable. So I really like the way that unit's working. It allows us to keep fresh bodies on the ice. Our top unit is still going to go out all the time, and they're still going to do what they do. But if they have to, go break it out too many times, they can come off the ice, and we can get fresh guys out there that are still contributing and finding ways to put the puck in the net. So I like the way it looks, and I think that can help us long term.
Any final ones?
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
The Montreal game is not the way you want to kind of hold it late in the third, and thought we did a good job today in the third period, just kind of playing our game and playing in their own end. And yeah, they get that second goal, but thought we did a good job shutting them down.
What's working at home? 10 straight wins here.
I don't know. I think we feel comfortable playing here. Last change helps too. But yeah, no, it's a building. It's hard to play for other teams. I remember playing here. It's not fun to come in this building, and it's loud and the altitude and all that stuff. So I think we're taking advantage of our home ice, and it's a good thing.
Nate gets pretty much an open net goal off of your shot, just a deflection over. Is that just like, hard work leads to good luck?
Yeah. Sometimes you make the great play and it doesn't really go in. Sometimes you get some of those. So, just keep working at it. You're going to get those bounces once in a while, and he didn't miss a spot. He kind of hit top shelf there.
I think that was probably one of the weirdest, dumb, bad luck shifts he's had. I can imagine he was probably a little exasperated.
Yeah, he looked a little bit exasperated. Yeah, I don't know. So, but yeah, it wasn't our best power play. We had some looks where we were losing the puck and kind of had 2 kind of mid breakaways, and it's just nice to finish off the power play with a goal. And sometimes they're not pretty, and it's not perfect execution. It just wasn't.
Tinkered with the top 6 a little bit. You're up with Chushkin and McKinnon. What made the top 6 so dangerous tonight?
I think we're just rolling them over. We're just playing our game as a team. Obviously, Val had a great start to that game. He was playing like we know he always plays. But yeah, even that Nelly line had a lot of chances. They didn't really capitalize, but they played really well too. So not only the top 6, I think all 4 lines played well tonight.
It wasn't how do I put it? You've had a couple of games, like the Toronto game, the Ottawa game, where you really dominated the other team.
Yeah.
Was this just sort of like a professional,
Yeah, it was like a weird game. It was kind of felt a muck fest a little bit. There wasn't much going on. 2 teams were playing pretty tight. And they're on their back-to-back if you're trying to keep it simple, and sometimes you don't have your legs on the other side, so you're playing very simple, like I said. And I thought just like you said, it was a professional game, a pro game, where we just kind of played our game, didn't really try to create that many chances. We played the game that was in front of us, and it worked out.
Thank you. Definitely does not.
Big win to kick off the homestand. How did you assess the game overall?
I think it was pretty good for the most part. We were able to generate some good offense, especially second half of the second. It was really good, just generating over and over again, line after line of really gaining momentum for our team. We were able to get a couple in the second and give us a little cushion, and we did a better job today of closing it out. Obviously, getting the one up late was not great, but a better effort from us down the stretch to close out the game.
Going back to the Ottawa game and again tonight, both units on the power play have capitalized. What has been clicking so well on the man advantage?
Well, I mean, it's been a pretty big rotating group for most of the year, so just starting to get used to who the guys we're playing with, and the units are pretty set for the most part. And yeah, we're doing a great job of finding lanes and having opportunities. Obviously, the second unit doesn't get a lot of time, but we're just finding ways to get pucks to the net and make it more difficult. And at the end of the day, if we score, it's great, but we're trying to create momentum for our team as well, and we were able to do that.
Nathan McKinnon is on a 22 home point streak. How did the top of the lineup and Nathan McKinnon impact this game specifically? Yeah,
I think our top two lines are so fast. They play the game so fast. They put teams on their heels. A team that's on a back-to-back, especially, it's going to be hard to keep up with them if they're going. And they were able to get on the forecheck and create some plays. And a lot of times they're creating off entries and all of that as well. But Detroit does a pretty good job of standing at the blue line. We were able to get pucks behind them and get on the forecheck, which is a weapon for us lately. And when they're able to do that and then retrieve pucks and get them low to high, and we're able to start moving and create room for them, then they get really dangerous.
Tying the game up 44 seconds after they score, I mean, just how big is that for you guys, getting that goal and even things up that quickly?
Well, yeah, it helps. I mean, I think we felt like we had our game, from the get-go. We get an unfortunate penalty and they get a goal off of it. It's going to happen, especially, a power play that's so good as theirs. Obviously, we want to stop them, but it's just about creating momentum off of that and not letting that frustrate us, and we were able to get back to our game right away.
The locker room and